Hello, everybody. One and welcome to African Beat.
and Caribbean Heat podcast.
It's your boy, UBA Dollar, aka Dollar Man.
And I am Queen Teah. Welcome back to our podcast.
Yes, sir. Welcome back, guys.
How you doing today?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Today? Did you have a good day?
I did. Pretty busy day at work.
Mm.
Um, yeah, but I'm glad the weekend is finally
Yeah.
here.
CPIA Friday night.
The weekend is finally here, and I think the weather is starting to take a change.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Makes me
know
sad.
it was rainy and cool today. So you definitely know as we're leaving one month going into the next, we know what's coming.
Yeah.
So
About that crazy time where you gotta cover so bad, and it's like crazy.
you got to get the car running
Ooh.
to warm up the inside. You got to break out your ice and your snow scraper
Ooh.
to get the snow off of your windshield.
You gotta run all the way to work. Run it. You didn't walk to work. You run it.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Where I work downtown, and like I have to park in a parking garage.
Wow.
And like you have to walk from the garage to the building.
Yeah.
So like, walking in the cold, I'm
Mm.
not looking forward to that. But
That's crazy.
I mean, same thing for you. You
Yeah.
have to like walk from
Walk.
like the parking lot to where you work as well.
Yeah,
So
it's crazy. I hate those times, man. I feel like calling off and just taking a vacation, man.
I
Coming
know,
back when the weather's
I
good.
know. PTO comes in clutch
But it's
when it's
never
cold
enough.
outside. Yeah, I
Never
always save
enough.
them up because I know like in the winter time I'm not gonna want to leave my house and go to work. So right now I'm still working. They call it hybrid. So I'm
Mm.
working a couple days at home, a couple days in the
Yeah,
office.
that's
Yeah.
good. That helps.
It does. It does, to get out of the house and also to like, stay home too. So how
Yeah.
was your day?
My day was good. I wasn't so busy at work today.
Hmm.
Just and it went fast.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about the weather so far. Like
Hmm.
the summer is over, the fall is almost over,
Oh
and
gosh.
then we're going to the cold time. And
I
I hate the cold.
know. I do
Like when it comes, I don't know what to do with my life.
too.
Like it gets to me so bad.
We ain't built for this, y'all.
Nah.
You got someone from Africa, someone from the Caribbean. We are not built for
Mm-mm.
the cold, and it's just so weird the fact that we picked a cold climate to live in. You know what I mean?
I
So
guess that's where fate or destiny takes us to.
is that what it is?
Yeah,
Okay,
because
that's fine.
most of us here would like to be home.
I
But if
know.
we're home, then we're gonna be hungry.
Mm,
So we gotta be here to feed the stomach. The stomach comes first.
I got you.
And then the funny part is like when I'm cold, I'm going outside and I'm
Hmm.
all dressed up with a big ass jacket.
Hmm.
And you see some other dudes, they wearing the singlet, they wearing the shirt.
I
I said, where the
know.
hell these guys come from?
Listen,
That's
like,
crazy.
oh my gosh, there used to be like a couple of years ago. I think it even made the news, like the local news,
Wow.
how like, these young kids out here in basketball
Yeah,
shorts and
and the
like,
cold.
yeah, like slides and flip flops or whatever, and it's like freezing cold and there's snow on the
Wow,
ground.
that's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy, but yeah, like you said, it's kind of like a delayed gratification. Like you are here because you have some goals you want to achieve, so
Yeah.
you kind of like put your head down and you push forward. I know I keep telling myself like once it really starts to get cold, like it's just 3 months. It's just 3 months. Just get through 3 months, and then like spring will be here and it'll be
Yeah,
hot
yeah,
again.
yeah,
So
yeah. That pretty much like forever.
that is true. Nothing lasts forever. Thank God for that. But yeah, so this week, there's been like, well, not only this week, but lately in the news, there's been a lot of things like in the celebrity world where um, you have couples who have been married for quite some time, um, sharing a lot of personal information
Yeah.
that's been happening in their respective relationships. And, um, for good or bad, a lot of the public have taken a vested interest in what's happening in these people's lives. So I wanted to spend some time today talking about like the idea of some people call it being transparent,
Mm.
and like especially like if you're a public figure and you're an influencer, like letting people into your life.
Yeah.
and
Okay.
how you live, what you do, and just like those vulnerable parts, and like even exposing like your family, like your spouse or your children. And I understand like a lot of celebrities may choose to put their family dynamic out because they realize they have a following,
Yeah.
right? And there's people that look up to them and aspire to be like them.
Hmm.
And they feel like if you can see that I deal with the same struggles that you deal with,
Hmm.
that it kind of makes me seem human to you as well.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious to know from your perspective, um, when you think of like celebrities or just people in general that put a lot of their personal information out on social media, like what opinion do you have about that, or like what's your mindset when you think or you see content where it seems to be really personal information being shared with the world? Mhm.
Yeah, like when I see stuff like that, it makes me
Mhm.
sad though, because
Okay.
we live in a world that there's no privacy.
Mhm.
Like privacy is going extinct, where
Okay.
everybody's knowing the other person's business.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I believe that no matter your celebrity
Mhm.
level, your family should be private,
Okay.
because when people know your privacy,
Mhm.
know your family, know how you and your husband live,
Yeah.
how you guys fight, how you hate him, how
Mhm.
he hates you, how all the wars and chaotic.
Okay.
You don't love him, you love another guy. You want all that stuff. If you're gonna come in public and tell people that, why not invite us so we can live with you in your house? What's the point of you having a house? I can bring my stuff
Yeah.
and then live with you. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
there's no privacy no more. And
Yeah.
see how you go to the restroom and even watch you go to the
Oh
restroom.
my gosh.
You know what I mean? That's very
Yeah.
sad that people in this time and
Mhm.
generation don't value privacy, don't value
Mhm.
family. You can't bring your family out there like that,
Mhm.
because you're disposing them to danger. You're
Yeah.
disposing them to chaotic words that people will say,
Mhm.
and you might be able to process the trauma or
Yeah.
the feedbacks, but they
Mhm.
might not.
Mhm. That's true.
And you might talk about the family, and maybe your daughter goes to the mall and they're like, your mom said this and that, you guys did
Mhm.
this, and the girl can't take it, and before you know, you hear that somebody killed themselves
Yeah,
or
that's true.
jump off the bridge.
Yeah.
So if you bringing your family out there,
Mhm.
just know you're creating chaos to your family,
Yeah.
because you can handle it as you're saying it. But what about your daughter? What about your son?
Mhm.
What about your husband? Because people are gonna twist the information that you
Mhm.
gave
Mhm.
and reflect it back to your kids,
Mhm.
and they might not be able to process it strongly like you do,
That's true.
and then you create an unsafe, unhealthy
Mhm.
family because you
Mhm.
want to help some people.
Yeah.
If you want to help some people because of your trauma, right? Why not have a gathering
Mm.
or a one-on-one meet
Yeah.
that people can share their problems
Yeah.
and you can advise them,
Yeah.
than letting all the candies and nooks and crannies of your family
Mhm.
out in public.
Yeah.
And for a woman to do that, I feel like the man is not really the man in her house, because in no man wants his family to be out in public, because you putting your family in danger. How can I protect my family if the danger is more than my capacity? So for me, I disvalue that,
Mhm.
whether celebrity or private. I mean, normal citizen.
Mhm.
It doesn't make sense, and the outcome is never good. I mean, the outcome is never good because
Okay.
people are gonna judge you. People are gonna change your words and take it.
Mhm.
So, and then when it comes to advice of people advising you stuff,
Mhm.
I always say this: if somebody's not married and their marriage is not successful, and you don't know, you don't see the marriage in and out, they
Mhm.
should never advise you,
Yeah.
because we all have different books.
Okay.
The way my book is not the way your book is.
Okay.
And advice, sometimes people advise you because you don't know the true identity of the advice. Because
Mhm.
a woman can advise you leave your husband and she's single, you know what I mean, and she's jealous that you have a man,
Okay.
and then she used that, and then you make that compromising, and then you leave your husband, then you regret, saying that maybe you come back and that your friend that told you leave your husband, It's not with your husband chilling.
Yeah, that could very well be the case.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so people gotta start thinking, using your six, and not um, living your life according to what your friends tell you,
Hmm.
what social media tells you,
Hmm.
what people in the street tells you,
Yeah.
what you watch on TV, and what you read in books. You gotta use your six and understand that we're all different in
Hmm.
life. We have to understand. Nobody knows your condition or your situation because they're not wearing your shoe.
Yeah.
Only the person that wears the shoe knows where the shoe pains.
Hmm.
So I don't value social media in living your life.
Hmm.
Just like you see so many females, they want their men to be like the guy they're watching on social media with him and his girl.
Okay.
Go to Dubai, go to vacation, he buys a
Hmm.
flower,
Hmm.
he does all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But you don't see when they fight. They just do a content of
Hmm.
they're good. You're
Hmm.
thinking that that's how life is.
Yeah.
And then you're giving a brother a hard time. Before you know it, he's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
You destroy your relationship.
Yeah.
So that's my thought on that. What do you think?
Well, so you had a lot, so I'm trying to unpack some of that. So one of the things that I heard you say, which I don't necessarily agree with when it comes to if you have a married couple who decides that they want to um, put their lives out on social media or like a reality. So I think about like a reality TV show, right? And I do agree that you know, if you have a desire to want to put portions of your life out for the world to see, you have to consider your household. You have to consider if you are married, your spouse, if you have children, your children, and just like what the impacts of that would be for your household. But to make a statement and say that the man of the house is not a man because he's allowing um, his family to be filmed or parts of their home life to be captured for the world to see, I don't feel is a fair assessment on the man. Um, I understand that people do certain things for certain reasons. They may feel that it's lucrative for them to do something like that. So, while maybe he may not have wanted to choose that particular path for the
Mhm.
family, they see that this could provide a way for them to earn more money, right? So there may be a conversation about like, what can and cannot be shared um, with the public. So I just wanted to put that out there. I don't think it's a judgment on the man, or I don't believe that it makes him less of a man because um, there is a mutual decision to have a reality TV show or have some kind of like social media presence where either member of the couple is sharing with the public what's happening in their home, in their space. And you are right. I mean, there's different levels to it, and a lot of people can't really handle the scrutiny that comes with putting your life out there, whether it be a celebrity or just a regular person like you or I. you know um Someone told me once, and I want to not curse, but someone said that opinions are like buttholes. Everybody has one. So everybody has an opinion no matter what you do, no matter if it's
Yeah.
good or bad, up or down, left or right. It doesn't matter. Like, you can think that you're doing the best thing
Mhm.
and someone's going to find something wrong with it. They're going to poke holes at it, right? And that's just the risk that we run as being people that have like a digital footprint, like have social media accounts and that are public. So anyone can search and they can access our content. They can view our podcast. They can view anything on your page, on my page, whatever. And then they can poke holes. They can say, what we're talking about is not right, or they can say you look this kind of way, or you look, you know, and if you really haven't like guard your mind and your heart and you're confident in who you are as a person, you can unfortunately allow the opinions of others to change how you look at yourself. And then unfortunately, there are some people that just can't handle it and they take matters into their own hands and unfortunately, do some drastic things that, whatever the case may be. So, when I look at it from the standpoint of you're trying to provide a financial benefit to the home, I think if it's done in a way that, number one, the content that's being shared is content that um, is authentic, is positive, is something that really brings light to a situation and not trying to expose or uncover things that are happening negatively in your home. I think that would be fine. But then there's also a fine line too of like not being authentic. So like if you're
Mhm.
only showing me all the good stuff,
Yeah.
then like how do you handle all the bad stuff? You know?
Yeah. So what you said is good
Mm-hmm.
on that part, but just want to add a little bit to it. Um, when I believe when we value money more than principle
Mm-hmm.
and 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 role of life,
Mm-hmm.
then we live in chaos
Okay.
because money is supposed to have there's supposed to be value before money.
Okay.
There's not money and then value.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's only money first and value, then anybody can do anything evil to make money. Anybody can do something to hurt somebody to make money. As far as they're making money, they don't care. So if a man in the house that's a king, that's a leader, that's the husband, lets his wife go in public and disgrace the family, disvalue the family for money. I don't know what to say about that man. That's for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a man. A man doesn't let his family be in danger. A man doesn't let his family be at a point of disgrace in
Mm-hmm.
public. That's not that's a man is a man that decides what's best for the family
Mm-hmm.
and what's best to carry the family to a better way. Why I say that? Because if the family is falling, who do we blame? The leader. If a country is falling, who do we blame? The president. If a state is falling, who do we blame? The governor. And the governor or the president or the person the family is to protect the family, to uh, make sure that there's rules and regulation that makes the family be better and grow to the next generation to generation after them. So if a man is letting his family do whatever they want to do for money, whether it's good or bad, then I don't know what to call that. I disagree with that kind of a man,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't believe he's doing a role of a man. Because if you let your wife do that and she makes money, what about your daughter? What about your son? What about your sisters? What about your cousins? Because information that is leaked out there of your privacy can jeopardize any of your family members. People can say stuff that would haunt that person mentally, and if the person is not strong to mentally process it, they're gonna hurt themselves, and I blame it on the person that allowed that. So that's my own thoughts. But
Mm-hmm.
I understand we live in a world or in a country or in another part of the world that believes that whatever um, that is unacceptable, that is okay, as far that the two people allowed it to happen. There's no constructive construct. There's no uh, role. There's no way of life, and there's no boundary of what a family is supposed to be like to raise productive kids, to have a level of respect from the world. All they do is money. Money is the first thing. It don't matter how you do it. It don't matter if it's good. It don't matter if as far as I'm getting paid, you don't care. And that's not how money was supposed to be. It's supposed to be you have a product first, and the people love the product and they want the product and their money comes. Now, money. I don't care if this product is good. If you buy it and you drink it and it kills you, that's your problem.
Mm-hmm.
I got the money. Well, you and the product deal with it. If you die, oh well, you die. That's life. I got money. Next person.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the world we live in, where we value money first than anything. And if we do that, we're going to doom
Mm-hmm.
because the world is gonna catastrophically end like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my point on that.
Yeah. Um, so I'm not of the position or the opinion to pass or cast judgment on any person based on what they allow in their home. Um, so I mean, I can appreciate your opinion about your stance when it comes to the man being in the home and him allowing things to happen. So I think it's going to be based on the person and the dynamic and what they agree to. And there have been families that have um, a social media presence, whether it be like on social media platforms or on a show, and they've been able to kind of monitor and keep in line the content that they want to show to a certain extent. But then there's others that kind of just like let anything go, right? So we have to kind of look at both. But at the end of the day, people make a decision because they feel at the time it's best for their situation. But I kind of want to pivot away from that part of the conversation because you had mentioned something about in your first response about getting advice
Yeah.
from people. So I want to spend some time talking about advice. So we have this podcast where we're talking about various topics, things that are pertinent in our culture right now, things
Mhm.
that are pertinent to, where you're from, where I'm from, and just discussing our opinions about different things and um, the experiences that we both have individually helps to inform how we look at situations that are happening in the world today.
Yeah.
And I'm not in a position to tell somebody that they're right or that they're wrong. That's their experience, that's their interpretation, and everyone's entitled to that. But we are offering suggestions, we're offering advice to people
Mhm.
on different topics, and people may look at our content and say like, "Oh, they don't know what they're talking about," or like, "I really like what he's saying," or "She doesn't know what she's talking about," or vice versa, right? Um, so recently, this is actually really old to be honest. So
Mhm.
there's a celebrity that was going through a public divorce,
Yeah.
him and his ex-wife, and he's an actor, he's a singer, and um, his ex-wife had gone on like a podcast or a talk show or something, and she was saying to the host
Mhm.
that she had people like friends advising her
Yeah.
to like leave her marriage, and it wasn't like there was something wrong that happened like or he cheated or something of that nature. It's just like for whatever reason like she wasn't happy or feeling fulfilled in her relationship, so
Yeah.
she decided to file for divorce, right? And then it sounded like during her interview it sounded like she had some regret.
Yeah.
She was like, you know I shouldn't have listened to these individuals. So I want to talk about like friendships or even like family and
Mhm.
getting advice from family and friends about, it could be about relationship, it could be about career, it could be about how you raise your children.
Mhm.
So like what is your opinion about like people seeking advice from friends and family when it comes to like matters pertaining to that
What I think is, what I would say, like, one thing I always believe is misery loves misery,
person?
and if you want to seek advice from somebody that you're sure that they're in a relation, if it's a relationship, they're in a relationship, and the relationship is working. You
Okay.
seek advice from them, and then you calculate the advice to see if it makes sense before you act on it, right?
Okay.
But you don't see people there. People get advice from their single friends, from their divorced friends. You know what I mean? And I always believe in that if you're a lady and you're in a relationship and you're seeking advice from a lady that's single, you're gonna get a single advice, meaning leave your husband or leave your man that you can find another man,
Mm.
because that lady can't even find a man and she ain't happy seeing you
Well,
being alone.
I need you
Yeah,
to be careful about projecting because that's not fair to say that.
I'm coming.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
I don't agree with that at all.
So
But
that lady can. What we're saying is our own opinion. So I'm saying what I think, If people believe it, fine. If not,
It's not
you know.
true, but anyway, go ahead.
Okay. So you're telling me that so nobody have ever told you.
That's not what at all what I'm saying.
So what are you saying?
You can finish your statement, and I can say what
No,
I
you're
need
the
to
one that
say.
interrupted the statement. I want you to outlet it.
So you have
Mm-hmm.
my experience with you when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to talking about stuff like this is you make these general statements.
I don't make general. I say you have some
Again,
people.
so I'm telling
Mhm.
you my
Okay.
experience, right?
Yeah.
So when I sit here and I listen to you share your thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
it comes across to me
Mm-hmm.
as a general statement. So my question to you was not
Mm-hmm.
only in the realm of just relationships. I said advice in general.
Yeah, and I was coming.
And so you went to the position of like, which I agree,
Mm-hmm.
that people should solicit advice from individuals who have experience in that same arena, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like if like say for example, you're married
Mm-hmm.
and you're having challenges in your marriage
Yeah.
and you're wanting advice on what to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be more proper to get advice from individuals who are currently married
Yeah.
and have been able to kind of navigate that space to kind of give you advice versus you getting advice from a single friend.
Mm-hmm.
And then up until that point, then you kind of went down this road of like, because they're going to encourage you to divorce your spouse because they're unhappy, they can't keep a
Mm-hmm.
part. That's not true, right?
Yeah.
So, but I also want to say, like, there may be some instances where that could potentially be the case. So
Mm-hmm.
I just want you to just like, as you're sharing, like, I don't want people to believe that that's always the case.
Mm-hmm.
So that was just my position.
So what I was saying is that when I say stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm not generalizing because you can never get 100%.
Okay.
And then when I say stuff, is I'm the one talking.
Sure.
So let me finish what I'm saying.
Okay.
When I
Sure.
finish what I'm saying,
Okay.
you can ask me what I said. Do I mean everybody or do I mean some? Or you can, when it's your turn, you can say not everybody does A and B.
Okay.
Then you interrupting me,
Mm-hmm.
and then I lose what I wanted to say.
Okay.
Because when you talk, I don't interrupt you. I let
Sure.
you talk, even though I don't agree what you say. I
Sure.
don't say. I let you finish,
Sure.
and then I say I want to add to what you're saying.
Okay.
That I don't agree that not everybody, and the audience can understand that
Sure.
because they watching us, they viewing us. But when you interrupt me, that's not cool.
I understand.
So back to what I'm saying. What I'm saying, if you have a friend that's single and you're in a relationship, most times that person might give you the wrong advice for you to leave your relationship
Mm-hmm.
because people are going to give you advice according to how they are.
Mm-hmm.
And like I always say, whoever wears the shoe knows where the shoe pains them.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else knows where the shoe pains them
Mm-hmm.
apart from you. So when I see people getting advice from, because I've seen so many people getting advice from their female friend, no, no, the female friend wants their husband or their boyfriend,
Mm-hmm.
and she tells him, she tells her to leave him,
Mm-hmm.
and he's not a good guy, this and that,
Mm-hmm.
and she does that, and then maybe 3 months later they get married.
Mm-hmm.
The guy and her friend is getting married.
Mm-hmm.
So I see a lot of that. So that's why I always advise people, if you want to get advice, try to get advice from somebody that's in the same shoe as you
Mm-hmm.
and that understands, uh, has been through that can give you the correct advice,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can use your brain to
Mm-hmm.
reevaluate it and think before you act.
Mm-hmm.